Hi guys, welcome to another Creative Design Team collab video. This week we are featuring stamping on layouts. I'm Julie. Welcome to my channel. For my project, I'm going to share with you the masking technique. I'm going to do a lot of stamping and we're going to use the mix-in paper pack. It's a beautiful paper pack and I am going to concentrate on these two sheets right here. You'll see throughout the video that my process changed quite a bit. I'm going to bring in this stamp set, and this is the stamp set that I'm going to use pretty much throughout this project. I am using the Make It From Your Heart Volume 3, and I'm using pattern number 4. Now, the reason why I chose pattern number 4 is because it gave me a lot of opportunities to stamp on my layout. So I'm going to use this really nice ballerina pattern paper, and as you can see here, I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut all of my pieces, which there's only 4. Really like these layouts. And I'm going to bring in this beautiful stamp set. I've gone ahead here and I've stamped them on just Post-it notes. I'm going to die cut them. And I love doing the masking technique with a stamp set that comes with thin cuts because it makes it so much easier. I'm going to bring in here my brand new die cutting machine from Close to My Heart, and I have to tell you that it works beautifully. I'm not white knuckling this as I'm cranking them through. It runs really, really smoothly. So I thought I'd kind of give you a bit of a peek on this brand new machine that we have available. So here I am testing which color am I going to stamp my flowers. Now I'm going to be using that as a background and I'm going to be doing the masking technique. So I started with pewter and then I'm going to use the mink color. The mink color is actually the color that is in the pattern paper. And I'm going to start with this color right here. So I'm starting right smack in the middle of my 2 pages. And then I'm going to use my little Post-it note. And the sticky part is what makes it easy to do this technique. So I'm going to show you this just so that you get an appreciation for how it is done. Now, if you're a master at masking, you can go ahead and skip forward, but I really love the way that this all came together. Now, let's kind of get in a little bit closer so that you can see how this is all done. So first you stamp, then you mask, and then you stamp again, and then when you reveal your second stamp, that's where the magic happens. And I really, really love this so delicate stamp set that we have right here. And you're going to see in a minute why I chose to go really light on all of my colors when I bring in my photos. But after this was done, I thought, wouldn't this make a really nice wedding layout? Because it is just so soft and so romantic, I guess. Wait till you see my picture. You're going to say romantic. Anyways, I'll get to those in a second. So here I've got kind of like a little cluster happening, and I don't really want to make it symmetrical. So I'm kind of I'm auditioning a few of those pieces and I'm playing with them and I'm just adding them along the bottom center of my double page layout. Now here you see that I actually had to double mask. I had to mask the leaf and the flower so that I could go ahead here and add this little cluster of flowers right here on the right hand side. So we're just going to press that in and I'm going to reveal how it all looks. Isn't that great? Like, this is a really easy technique, but it is a little time consuming because you kind of have to figure out where you're going to stamp. And you have to make sure to mask those areas so you don't stamp over them. So you saw here that I stamped that leaf and then I masked it right away and then I added my last one. So let's just finish here on the left hand side. So I'm double masking those areas that I don't want to go over. I'm going to add a little flower right here. And then it's just when you remove the mask, that's where you see how pretty this layering really is. So we're almost done here. I just have to do one more, but I think you kind of get the gist on how to make any background look really, really good. Now remember my romantic flowers, or pictures I should say. So these are pictures of some of my best crafty friends. I haven't seen them in almost 2 years, and we went to Crop and Create. We even got to hang out with Christina for the weekend, and she was so gracious to take pictures with us. So it was a lot of fun that whole weekend. So I thought, why not use that as my title? So fun. So here I'm going to use that same stamp set, and I'm still going to stamp. I'm not going to stamp directly on the layout, but I'm going to create myself a really nice title. Now I did pull the intense black ink that you can see here on my left side, only because at this point in the process I wasn't sure if I was going to color them in. So I thought, okay, well, let's just be sure and use the intense, and then that way if I want to add watercolor or if I want to add markers, I'll be all set and I'll be able to go. At the end, I left them black and white, and I think that they turned out lovely. So you see me here stamping on my letters, and I'm trying to get the most design out of that flower to show up on that small real estate, that little letter that I have, so the S. So that's why I don't mind die cutting a few, because I can kind of rotate my flower around just to see where I've got like the best kind of design at the end. So it gives you choice, and I like to have choices when I'm doing scrapbooking. So I'm not going to show you the entire process, but you kind of get the gist here. I'm stamping on all of them until I get that really nice design element on each of the letters that is going to form my title. So let's get back to my layout. So off camera here, I did stamp using an older stamp set. It's called A Stroke of an Artist, and I did kind of rotate that. So I showed you how I did that. I'm going to show you here on the right hand side. So what I like about it is that when you stamp with an actual stamp such as this one, you can position it exactly where you want it, and you're creating your own background paper to match your photos. So I'm going to add a few of those little, I guess they're little splatters here of paint or ink, I'm not too sure, but I really like that it was kind of framing my title and my photos. So I'm going to add one more here and a couple more on this side, and I really like the way that that all turned out. So it's coming from underneath that pattern paper. It's really highlighting my picture and my title, but it's not taking away from the photos. So here I'm still using that same stamp set, and I'm kind of making a little border on each end of this double page layout. So I'm kind of framing it if you want. So the reason why I chose to go with the soft pink and the mink color is because those photos were really busy. Like, we're all wearing bright colors. There's those bright colors in back of us. And I just thought, okay, maybe if I have something really interesting on my layout, but that is not fighting with my photo, it's all gonna work out. And I think that it did. If you like softer colors, obviously you're going to like this layout, but if you like bold colors, you could absolutely pick bolder colors for this layout. But in the end, I was really happy with the result. So here I've used again that same stamp set, and I'm actually using my water brush and a little bit of ink, and I'm just using little flick motions from the center and the edges of the flower. Now here I did not use intense black ink. I used mink because I wanted it to be really soft, but you can see that even if it's not intense black ink, and I'm using water, it didn't bleed. Now I did stamp them and I did let them dry overnight. So that's a tip for you, and kind of stay away from the lines and you should be fine. So here I'm showing you that I did print my journaling on my computer, and I'm just going to trim it off here with my little Friscar trimmer. I'm going to double mat that with Mink. And then I'm just going to add my title. I am going to use my trusty T-ruler to make sure everything is nice and straight. And then why not add one more element? So again, I'm not stamping on the layout, but I'm stamping on my journaling spot. I'm adding that same flower, and when you see the layout completed, you'll see that there's a pop of that flower either in Mink or lightly colored, or with the black in the title. They all work on this page because they're very neutral. Even though I have the one color, which is Ballerina, they're pretty much all neutral, and I just wanted to show you different ways to use one stamp set and bring it all together on one layout. So we're going to finish off this layout right here, and I'm going to add, so these ones here I guess would replace stickers or embellishments. So I'm going to put this one underneath my patterned paper, and this one here is going to tuck underneath the photo. So I'm kind of layering them up so you've got a little bit of dimension. I didn't even use foam tape on these ones. I actually just put them straight down on my layout. I'm going to add this last one right here, and then we're going to add a few leaves, and that cluster looks really good. Now, if this would have been done in bright colors, and you know what, now that I'm looking at it, maybe I could have done the flowers in a brighter color, but I think that your eye would have been drawn to the cluster as opposed to the photo, and I really wanted to highlight those photos because it was such a fun time, and I love these girls. Like, if you want to get away with a fun bunch of ladies, these are the ladies to get away with for sure. So here you see me adding a few splatters. I did use my re-inker only because the Mink is not that dark, so I added a few splatters at the bottom, and then I thought, okay, I think I like it this way. It flows nice, the title is on the other side, but it was really designed to go the other way. So I really like our patterns that we have because honestly you can move them from left to right or right to left, and they look good both ways. So you'll have to let me know in the comments below, which way do you prefer this layout? The title on the left or the title on the right? I still can't decide. I like them both. So of course, no layout is complete without a few blings, and I didn't really have like anything pink, believe it or not, so I pulled out my rose gold sequins, and yes, I did pick out the pink ones, and I added them here and there, and it just completed this page really, really nicely. Let's go over a few of the stamping. So here is the masking technique and the framing around the base. I did use that same stamp set for my title, and I did cut it a few times to give it dimension. I stamped with that stroke of an artist, and then I added that same stamp set for my journaling. So there's quite a bit of stamping on these pages, and here I'm showing you the completed project with the title on the left and the title on the right. Let me know what you think. Now don't forget to come back tomorrow because Carrie's gonna have a beautiful project to share with you all. Don't forget, this is a collab series with all of the creative design team members. I will link their channels down below in the description box. And if you'd like to see the complete playlist, just click this video right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will catch you in the next video. Have yourself a fantastic day.